gentlemen, we want to welcome you to the sixth race of XRL's X3 season on F1 2021. I'm your host for today, Insane Leader 13. I'm being joined by XRL Torpedo, and we also happen to, right now, have an extra guest in the form of Trey, 9530. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Looking at Austria for today's event, but first I want to go ahead. Trey, interesting scenario on your end. You've kind of been squeezed out of your ride for today's race, but what do you have to say about this event in general, though? Trey, can you hear us? Alright, it may be possible that Trey is not able to hear us. In fact, he's left, so I'm going to guess that Xbox is giving him problems. Alright, so real quickly, Torpedo, I want to talk with you real quickly then. Coming into Austria, very, very famous and infamous circuit for numerous reasons. What do you think we can expect from today's race?
I'll probably chaotic ones. Hopefully some rain as well. We haven't had that in a while, in a few races, or full wet race. But it's going to be chaos. There's a lot of opportunities around Austria to validate your lap in the time. That's going to throw a challenge for the drivers. And then also just the race as well in general. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like there's a lot of people to take good opportunities. So anyone can win this race.
Yeah, you make an excellent point. One other thing to consider: 19 drivers here, so that means we are very close to having a full field for today's event as everyone's starting to get readied up. Is it just me, or does it say realistic performance on it?
No, not mine is equal.
Okay, so it's probably just an issue. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing something weird. We'd see drivers and cars that were not properly balanced amongst each other. Alright, so anyways, ready to get onto the circuit. One thing to consider for qualifying is that at this circuit you can complete laps here in less than a minute and 10 seconds, about a minute and 5 actually, compared to most other FIA Grade 1 circuits where lap times are about a minute and 15 to a minute 45, maybe even 2 minutes if it's a rainy session at Spa. We could very easily be looking at a scenario today where drivers will get 3 or maybe even 4 attempts to set a lap in Q3 simply because laps here are so much quicker.
Yeah. And there is that as well, and if you do validate your lap, you will have time, like to literally get yourself back up and go again.
Yesterday in the XRL race, it was rain throughout the first not even quite third, more like the first quarter of the event, but as it dried off, everyone got really spread out from each other, and we didn't really see a whole lot of anything being able to be done late in the event. This race, however, a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker, could be significantly more interesting. And now the question is going to be, who's going to be the first person to try and get out onto the circuit and set the time that everyone else will be initially chasing after.
Alright, here we go. Looks like Collie Boy is going to be the first one out on track.
Collie Boy trying to recover from an embarrassing day yesterday where he showed up completely inebriated to the race, crashed out before even making it to the first quarter on his out lap, and then the race itself went 2 laps down in the first 5 laps of the event before causing a blockage on pit lane that forced the only yellow flag of the day and disqualified himself and another driver. In a race that only saw 3 retirements as well, so he's definitely going to try and put the drunkenness behind him and put a good run together now. To look a little bit farther back on the grid, Scholl has been as the second driver on circuit as he's in that Euro Collie nearly chain sponsoring the Haas. Him and his teammate XRL Pinko are both already out on circuit. Other drivers are on track. Of note right now, though, would be Plastic Love and XRL Gusty, the 2 Red Bulls. There's also Wild Nissan GTR, who has just come out of Sector 2. One of the Mercedes, that would be William Blau, has come onto the circuit, as has the Aston Martin. ITZ JK9X. As Pingu, Gusty, Collie Boy, Plastic Glove are all beginning their flying laps, while Nissan's coming down to start his flying lap as well. Watching Pingu right now is an interesting scenario where the laps are so quick around here, you honestly run the risk of, on your flying, if you were one of the first drivers to get onto the circuit, your flying lap could overlap with someone else's outlap. We saw that happen to XRL Austria yesterday in Q2 and Q3. Oh!
He crashed. He crashed on the east. Went round.
Where? Is that on the pit lane, or is that...
Before, it's on the main straight, just before he started his lap.
Oh, wow, and it's right just a little bit off the line. And our first DNF of the day happens exceptionally early. Plastic Glove ended up invalidating his lap, trying to avoid it as well, so it's going to cause him some problem. Gusty goes to the top with 104.711. We're going to have to see if we can get ITZ into the party, see what happened from his perspective.
Yeah.
Would you be able to do that real quick?
I did it as soon as well, after.
Yes. Alright, I'm watching Dave Ewart now. His teammate Collie Boy has already set a 105.237. And coming into the party right now is ITZ. ITZ, go ahead, include your audio. What happened that took you out on that lap there? Do you think you'll be able to rebound back into the points in the race itself? Alright, well, thank you very much for being willing to share your opinion. We'll be looking forward to you trying to make your way up through the field today. As we turn our focus back to the racetrack once more, William Blau will try and be the sixth driver to set a lap here, as he is on the run for the final two quarters now. He'll be joined shortly afterwards by the like of WXR and Schold. Also, Blau's teammate Stone Shelf is a little bit farther back on the circuit, about to begin his flyer. Blau says the time of 104.826. He is now out on circuit beginning his flying lap as well. Boothie very interested in qualifying. He spins, and Boothie goes around and spins coming out of turn number 1, comes to a stop. He's gonna get back underway without end up being too much of an issue for anybody else. He's gotta be a little bit careful and not knock off the end of that front wing on the outside barrier, and he's away. That was on his flying lap as well. Boothie, at least in my opinion, seems to be one of the drivers who has not been has not really benefited from the change from F1 2020 to F1 2021. He was a very, very good qualifier in F1 2020, but in 21, it seems like he's just struggling to deal with the handling that these cars have. A lot of the bite in the front of the car is gone now. It used to be that these cars had a lot of oversteer and excessive grip in the front. Now they're very understeering. That might be an issue for drivers. Ocean Lion has gone ahead and set a time of 120.8, but it was not a valid lap time, so he is going for another lap right now. As one of the Mercedes came to a dead stop on the second straightaway there.
I think it might be, let's see who it was. It was William Blau.
XRL Fiend also in the middle of a lap right now as he comes out of the third straightaway. Now goes through the tighter, more aerodynamic focus bits here. Despite being a very quick lap around here, this circuit has a lot of focus on acceleration and aerodynamic grip, especially on the entrance of Sector 3 Throughout the first bit of Sector 2, the cars are normally going just slow enough that there's a little bit more importance put on the suspensions of the car. But throughout Sector 3, where the speeds are a little bit higher, aerodynamics take a little bit higher priority. And then once you get out of the final corner, you have 3 straightaways with 2 tight corners between them, which makes it all focused on engine acceleration, as XRL Fiend sets a time of 104.108 and then immediately invalidates right afterwards in turn 1. Classic Love in the Red Bull has yet to set a lap time. He will be doing so now. He will be the 12th driver to do so, as he sets a time of 104.603. And Boothie finally puts down representative lap time with 104.296. XRL Snake and TIR Flavor are both finally getting onto the racetrack to begin their flying laps. X hits the spot. Constant Jet, Schumacher, SF7 have yet to get onto the circuit. Schold came onto the circuit earlier, aborted his attempt, and is still in pit lane right now. Flavor now begins his flyer. Gusty retires with a 103.896, the fastest time this far in the session, so Gusty feels very confident in what he can do at the moment. I'm going to be silent for a lap and roll right on board with the McLaren of XRL Snake for a full lap around this circuit.
Flavor across the line, got one at 6.270, and Schold
I've been
in
muted
the
this
hash.
entire time! Ah! Alright, Schumacher has invalidated another lap. So he's, at this point, he might want to consider coming into pit lane to get new tires on, potentially. Although he is still full when it comes to ERS. X hits the spot, is in the middle of a flying lap right now. As it stands at the moment, Ocean Lion is on the bubble with TIR Flavor on the outside looking in. Flavor's found about 4/10 in sectors 1 and 2, but he needs to be a little bit smoother through the last corner here. That's where he lost a bunch of time on his prior lap. And he's bringing it in. As X hits the spot, and Schold has been disqualified from the session for blocking pit road.
Oh,
He has had a spin or something, I'm guessing, in that corner.
that's a shame for him.
Well, now I'm confused because it didn't look like Schold was damaged or anything. So, like, did he? I wonder if he spun coming through the second to last corner or something. and the car stalled pit lane entrance. It wouldn't be the first time here we've seen a driver get disqualified for spinning, entering, or exiting the pit lane. I'm going to try and get Scholled in here real quickly. So watch Schumacher SF7 as he and X hits the spot, has had a spin, and X hits the spot, has had a spin, the same place that Scholl did in the middle of his flying lap. Here comes Schumacher now. His teammate Shelby Spark has the second fastest time thus far. Schumacher sets the 8th fastest with 104.568. So as it stands right now, Ocean Lion, who is on an out lap, is on the bubble with TIR Flavor and exits the spot on the outside looking in. X on a flyer right now. Boy also has come back onto the circuit to try and improve on his lap time, as he is in 14th right now. But if Lion Flavor or X were to improve their lap significantly, he could end up being on the outside. Fuel lights flashing for X. I'll be curious to see if he's going to finish this lap or not. Yep, he's going for it. Out of the final corner. No spin this time at the line. He'll set a lap time of 104.532. That puts him in 8th. Snake jumps up to 9th. And Schumacher has had an accident on the front straightaway.
Ooh, and that's him. That's a no. That's him. That'll be him out of
session. By the time that Dave Ewart comes up to it. So now Schumacher is out, and Ocean Lion and TIR Flavor just need to find a way to beat Schumacher's time. Would you be able to see if we can get Schumacher in here to see what happened from his perspective?
Yeah, we'll do. There we go.
Ocean Lion going for a lap now. At the line, we'll see if he's improved enough to get by Schumacher. He is not. He is still slow.
Not enough.
He still needs to improve by about 0.6, and for TIR Flavor, he needs to improve by about 1.7. Wild Nissan has gone and taken a nice little trip through the sand pit there in Sector 3. I have no idea what's going on there. Must have been a crazy spin. But he is coming back onto the circuit now. He has the 4th fastest time at the moment, so he's very safe for now. Ocean Lion down on time this lap by 1.5 seconds. So this must be a cooldown lap for him. 3 minutes left on the clock, and again, you can complete a lap in about a minute and some change here. So it's very, very feasible for Ocean Lion to make it into the pits, throw on a new set of tires, and try and go again. It's Dave Ewart. He's coming into the pits right now. His teammate Collie Boy, now that Schumacher has knocked himself out of the session, Collie Boy doesn't really have to push as hard. Everyone else is chasing his time. Oh, and Collie doesn't care. 4th fastest, 104.250.
And Constant Jet is retired as well. And he's like on the bubble.
As it stands right now, Ocean Lion and TIR Flavor are the drivers on the outside looking in, but neither are, well, TIR Flavor is coming back onto the circuit now. He needs to find roughly 1.8 seconds in order to beat Schumacher's time for a shot to get in to Q3. Ocean Lion is still on pit lane. Flavor, at this rate, should get 1 attempt, maybe even 2 attempts at this. Plastic Love is also out on circuit in the middle of a lap right now, but he's down by nearly 4/10. Pengu as well is in the middle of a lap as he is going through Sector 2. It doesn't look like he's pushing very hard at the moment. Yeah, he's down by 6 seconds, so this is definitely a cooldown lap for him. So the focus is on TIR Flavor and to see if Ocean Lion will come back onto the circuit or not.
Looks like it doesn't look like it. in the pit lane. Cowboys returned to session 1. This at GTI just stuck on a fresh set of softs and gone out in 5th. Meanwhile, the Haas of Pengu, I think it is. Pengu. Yeah, it's Pengu. Coming into the pits now, currently in 6th, so it's definitely through. 40 seconds left. Nothing happening down at the Williams end of the garage with Ocean Line, so that's him out of the session, I'm afraid. But now it's up to TIR Flavor to get his lap underway.
Oh, and, well, okay, for a moment it looked like this car went into the dirt, but never mind.
Can he get to the high? Can he be on par with his teammate?
He's up by almost half a second, but he needs to improve by a lot more in Sector 3. He cannot show any fear through the last corner. He's going to have some drafting help from Wild Nissan, I think.
Nah, too far back.
Not enough to help.
Check a flag out, that's him gone. 105.3.
He improved by almost an entire second, but he is still 8/10 out from Schumacher's time. So he will not advance, and neither will Ocean Lion, and neither will Schumacher or ITZ or Schold. It's kind of a shame because I think if Nissan and TIR Flavor synced it up a bit, I think the draft off of Nissan might have been enough to give him a better shot at a higher place.
Yeah.
Well, when we look at the drivers who do advance, though, XRL Gusty is the fastest in the Red Bull, Shelby Spark second in the Ferrari, XRL Fiend third in the Alpine, Boy fourth in the Alfa Romeo, Wild Nissan fifth in the AlphaTauri, XRL Pingu sixth in the Haas, seventh is Boothie in the Aston Martin, William Blount and Stone Shuffle are eighth and ninth in the Mercs, 10th is X Hits the Spot, 11th is XRL Snake, 12th is Plastic Love, 13th is Dave Ewart in the Alfa Romeo, 14th is Constant Jet in the Alpine. Schumacher, after his crash, will not advance to the next round, neither will Ocean Lion in the Williams, TIR Flavor in the AlphaTauri, ITZ in the Aston Martin, or Schold in the Haas. Okay, that was a interesting Q1, to say the least. Spins and crashes throughout compared to XRRL yesterday, where we didn't really see too much chaos throughout qualifying at all.
Yep, and now Q2 will be coming up. Now strategy will be playing into effect right now.
Yep, as we've said time and time again, Q2 is where things get really interesting because for the top 10 qualifiers at the end of Q2, they are locked into their tire choice for the entire race. So we'll see drivers who will go in with the mindset of, oh, I'm fast enough to make the top 10 without issue. They'll go ahead, turn a lap on the mediums. We've never seen drivers try and qualify on the hards, interestingly enough. But drivers will go ahead, try and qualify on the mediums, and then they realize, oh crap, my time's not good enough to get me into Q3. So they throw their strategy away to try and get a better grid position and make Q3, and late in the event we'll see a flurry of cars and drivers jumping onto pit lane, throwing away mediums and jumping onto softs to try and improve into the next round. As it stands right now, everyone seems to be on softs with the exception of Plastic Love, though. The first driver to get onto the circuit, well, just like last time, it's Dave Ewart. It's still an Alfa Romeo. It's not his teammate Boy, it is Dave Ewart this time. So we also see Boothie, Plastic Love, and Shelby Spark all out on the circuit, and now XRL Pingu is coming onto the track as well. But the tides seem to be very strong, well, not very strongly, but slightly in favor of the softs right now. I'm seeing 6 drivers with mediums and 8 with softs. On his flyer, going through the third corner, really it's the second corner, but third corner, that's going to hurt him significantly, so now the focus goes to Plastic Love, as his teammate Gusty pulls over to let him by. Plastic Love now in position to be the first driver to set a lap time in the session. And now the tides are turning in favor of the medium tires, as now Pingu has had a spin in the exact same part on the racetrack. He is back underway though, and Plastic Love will set the time with 105.036. The second driver across the line with a debut art, but with the spin, the 116.9 is not competitive at all. Chubby Spark goes second with a 105.920. Now we should be seeing Boothie crossing the line very shortly. He will set the next lap time, and it will be the fastest thus far, 104.367. That's the Boothie we all know.
Indeed. XRL Pengu is better across the line on his mediums in the Haas. Up to the lot. Oh, this time just being 1 minute 04.280 in the Alpha Tauri. Pengu goes 5th though, 1 minute 14.190, so might have made a mistake in that lap.
Snake jumps up to 104.803. Gusty right now is the only other driver in the middle of the lap. 10 drivers will advance to Q3, 4 of them will get knocked out here. And at the line, Gusty to the top with a 104.152. William Blau and XRL Fiend are both on outlaps at the moment. Fiend on the medium tires, as is Blau. Stone Shuffle has come onto the circuit as well, but unlike his Mercedes teammate, Stone Shuffle has softs equipped. Exits the spot, Constant Jet, also in the middle of an outlaps right now, preparing to go for him. Gusty to the top with a 104.092, so he improved on his prior lap. So now there's the question of, could we see a driver break the 104 barrier and get into the 103s on the medium tire compounds? I have no doubt that we can see that happen on softs, but I wonder if it could be done on the medium. So it seems like, to me at least, the difference between the mediums and the softs aren't as significant here as they normally would be. The top 5 fastest times thus far have all been set with medium tires. Fiend goes up to second with a 104.121. Here comes William Blau into the last corner. Very wide, but he's kept it legal, and he'll jump up to 5th, 104.493. So now the top 6 times have all been set on mediums. Stone Shuffle will be the next driver to cross the line on the softs. If anything, here's something to really take in consideration. Shelby, oh, and Stone spins out of the second to last corner and spins right into the pit lane entry.
He's
trying to get it going now.
Oh, there's a car coming.
Oh, Jesus Christ, right in front of the Alpine. Fiend's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah.
Constant Jet on the mediums, he's going for it. Something of note, as I was trying to say, Shelby Spark and Dave Ewart set their initial lap times on softs, and they have since jumped onto medium tire compound. So it may be possible that the mediums actually have more pace than the softs. Constant Jet has set a time of 104.589. And of note, Wild Nissan, he set his time on the mediums, but he is now on soft tire compounds. At this point, 7 of the 8 fastest times have been set on medium tires. Collie Boy on an out lap right now. Stone Shuffle is in pit lane again. After spinning on his attempt at a lap, spinning basically into the pit lane entrance. Chubby Spark on the mediums. It says that he was up by almost a full second, but his lap time is invalid for the moment, so he's going to have to go for another one. He's got draft off the Fell Ferrari bad machine of Collie Boy going down the main straight. That will help a bit. He's still clean. This might cut in turn 1. Still in the draft of the Alfa Romeo on the second straightaway now.
Oh, Collie Boy's yet to set a lap time in this session on the mediums. Oh, almost went wide, almost in the wall. And I think neither of them will back out of this. They're going to be fighting in qualifying. Oh well, Collie Boy's back down again.
I think all things considered, Shelby Spark probably benefited the most from it because he had draft from that Alpha on all 3 straights, even though he compromised his line a little bit. On the 3rd straight, he's up by 1.1 seconds right now. To the line. Shelby will set a time to the top. He breaks the 104 barrier on the mediums, 103.8.
Collie Boy has gone back into the pit lane after that.
Wild Nissan, who has set the 4th fastest time of the day on the mediums, will cross the line on the softs, but he's slower. He is down on time on the soft tire compounds. I'm going to be honest, I think it's very obvious here. The medium tires are faster than the softs today, which is almost unheard of under normal circumstances, but that seems to be the case. I'm looking at it right now, and of the top 10 fastest times, 8 of them have been set on the mediums. Stone Shuffle is trying again with the softs. His first flying attempt, he spun at the pit lane entrance. He wasn't even trying to come into pits, but he just ended up losing it and spinning there. Now he's going again for it. He attempt to be the 13th driver to set a lap time in the session. As it stands right now, Dave Ewart is on the bubble with XRL Snake Pingu on the outside looking in, and exits the spot, is the only driver thus far who has set his fastest time in the top 10 on softs.
He's fitting mediums as well, which is weird, but if the mediums are quicker, then you might as well go for them. .055
at the end of Sector 2 for Stone Shuffle. Now he comes up to the corner where he spun the prior lap.
Can he get that Mercedes through to Q3?
His teammate William Blau is in the top 10.
Oh.
No, it's not fast enough.
Collie Boy is rounding now the final corner. He'll begin his final lap again, hopefully uninterrupted by a Ferrari.
It seems very plain to me that the mediums are faster than the softs right now, and Exits the Spot must have either stumbled on a perfect concoction or got really lucky with draft, because he's the only driver in the top 10 to set a time on the softs. No one has broken the 104.75 barrier on the softs except X Hits the Spot. On the other hand, on the mediums, we're seeing Chubby, who has broke the 104 barrier altogether on the mediums.
Yeah, it is weird. There. Meanwhile, Alfa Romeo of Collie Boy. Could he knock his teammate Dave Ewart out of the session?
Stone Shuffle jumps up to 9th now with a 104.525, so he has found a little bit extra speed in that tire.
XRL Snake goes up to 8th on the 4.29. Collie Boy goes 12th on the 4.597. Gusty's retired in the pit lane.
So now things have changed just a bit. XRL Snake has set a faster lap on the softs, and he is in 8th now with a 104.429. Stone Shuffle is right on the bubble with a 104.525. Both Alphas are on the outside looking in, as is the Haas of Pingu and Constant Jet, who is in the Alpine. Constant Jet is coming onto the track now, and Pingu is in the middle of another lap. Pingu has equipped a set of soft tires. Collie Boy is down on time significantly, and he'll bring it into the pits. Dave Ewart has invalidated the lap he's in the middle of. So right now the focus is on Pingu, trying to see if he can knock Stone Shuffle out. Pingu is up by 3/10, but that in itself would not be enough to get him into the 10th position. Last 2 corners. And now coming, and he invalidates. And Nissan has had a slide off circuit in Sector 2. Pingu has invalidated his lap. Dave Ewart's in the middle of an invalid lap right now. And because of where Pingu was on the track, Pingu's next lap is invalidated. So I'm going to be honest, there's no way for Pingu to make it in the next round. He's not going to make it to the start-finish line in time for another attempt. He's out.
Yep.
And Dave Ewart's not going to get a chance either. He's out. Constant Jet is in the position, though. He's up by 200ths at the end of Sector 1. Snake and Blau are both confident enough in their times that they have retired from the session.
Constant Jet is on his lap at the moment. Plastic Love's done the same, heading through the downhill twisty part of the circuit, up by 3/10 on his lap time. At the moment, the Haas of Pingu goes into the pit lane. That is his...
Oh, he spins into the pit lane!
Oh, that's one way to make an entrance. Pit lane, Constant Jet across the line. 0-second, 104.084 puts Stone Shuffle that's him out. And Pingu into the pits. He's lost his whole wing. So that's qualifying over then.
Interestingly enough, Exits the Spot just went faster on the medium, so he has now set his fastest time on the medium tire compound at the last possible moment as he gets up to 104.189. And while Nissan also sets his fastest time on the mediums as well. So in the end, only 2 drivers, Snake and Constant Jet, will be starting this race. Well, 2 drivers in the top 10. Snake and Constant Jet will be starting this race on soft tires. Everyone else will be on mediums, and I'm gonna be honest, it looked 100% like the medium tires were faster than the softs. Constant Jet seemed to be the only real exception to that rule, though.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very unique Q2, to say the least.
Yeah. Really interesting towards the end. Seeing that only like 2 drivers in the top 10 go through on the softs, and we'll start on that tire.
Yeah, it's really strange. Anyways, the 4 drivers that will not advance will be Stone Shovel in the Mercedes, Collie Boy in the Alpha, Dave Ewart in the other Alpha, and Pingu in the Haas. So it's Blau, Snake, Plastic Love, Boothie, Nissan, X, XRL Fiend, XRL Gusty, Constant Jet, and Shelby IX Spark, who will all advance to the next round. Just waiting to continue. Looking real quickly, and this is really interesting. We'll look at Wild Nissan GTR and his tire choices throughout Q2. He started on the mediums, jumped to the softs, and then went back to the mediums later on. And his fastest time, again, was on that last set of mediums. Exit the spot, immediately committed to the softs, and in a very unusual scenario, went afterwards to the mediums. And then we see drivers like Dave Ewart. He seemed to be one of the few drivers that couldn't figure out the transition from the soft to the medium tires. And then Pingu, he just was not having any luck on either tire compound, was invalidating laps and had spins. And then the other thing to consider, Stone Shuffle committed to the softs all the way through. For a brief moment, had himself in the top 10, but then other drivers just ended up being fast enough and gradually pushed him out.
Yeah, and I think it just shows how the track can be at times with the tire wear. But
I will say this. There is maybe a possibility that it's not that the softs aren't faster than the mediums. What it may be is that the proper operating window for the soft tire compound, it takes longer for it to get into it. Instead of just 1 warm-up lap, it may take 2 warm-up laps to properly get a flying run. Normally, drivers on the softs, we see them go full bore with really, really light fuel loads, and they only set up for 1 true flying lap. And that might be one of the reasons why the softs were not competitive with the mediums here. It just might take the softs too long to get to the proper temperature, while the mediums don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. No, we're still waiting for Q3 to get underway.
Apparently drivers haven't properly readied up for the next round of qualifying yet.
Ah, there we go.
Alright, so here we are. Now we're coming onto the circuit properly. The first drivers to get onto the circuit will be Plastic Love, joined very shortly afterwards by Wild Nissan GTR. Also, Boothie has come onto the circuit, as has XRL Gusty, who's beginning his lap. Then you also have Shelby IX Spark, who has come onto the circuit as well. So half of our cars already on the circuit. The other half have not yet made a move to get out of pit lane. So Plastic Love invalidates on his first lap. Sorry, I just saw a little bit of bullcrap from the FIA coming through. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, while Nissan is going to try and be one of the first drivers to set a proper flying lap here. Boothie is also invalidated on his lap. So yeah, it's going to be Wild Nissan. He has a 44.388 at the end of second 2. I'm just going to go ahead and say, with how it seemed like the mediums were faster than the softs in Q2, I'm kind of shocked that no one elected to throw on a set of softs here for Q3. Sorry, I'm not sure if I said that right. I'm shocked that no one decided to throw on a set of mediums for Q3. But Nissan will set the fastest lap at the time that everyone will be chasing with a 104.168. Gusty joins him right afterwards with a 104.190. WIX Spark will be the third driver set lap time. He breaks the 104 barrier by a massive amount, 103.468.
Good lap from Chubby. Now it's just to see what everyone else does.
Austin Jet is going to be the next driver to set a lap time. Snake ran off the circuit a little bit on his out lap coming out of the pits, but he has gotten it back on track properly. As we look at the Alpine, one of 2 Alpines who have made it into this round of qualifying. On the run down to the line, it will be a 104.314. Now Plastic Love invalidated his first lap, going for a proper flyer now. 104.523. Boothie in the middle of the lap, and wow, Nissan GTRs just had an accident in pit lane. Gusty goes faster.
Oh, Chubby's gone.
Is he out or?
No,
Now he's had a spin, but he can still keep going.
I think he's out.
Nissan with an accident.
He's out though, that's the thing. His car's just still on the track.
I'm watching Shelby, and Shelby is coming into the pits right now.
Oh, no, Nissan.
Oh yeah, Nissan. Yeah, Nissan is out after crashing, entering the pit lane. Snake is in the middle of a lap right now, but he's invalidated it. X hits the spot, and XRL Fiend will be the next 2 drivers to try and attempt laps here. Alpine and the Williams. .085 at the end of Sector 2 before X hits the spot. in the Williams. Relatively clean track for the moment, only 3 cars out on the circuit. Boothie is trying to improve on his lap time as X will cross the line with a time of 103.585. That's the second fastest time we've seen thus far. And now here comes Fiend. He's validated his lap. So the focus goes to Boothie then, who comes into the pits.
And it's for the next lap as well. That's not looking good for Fiend.
There's still over half the session left. Well, about half the session left. So Fiend could still like to come into the pit lane and get new tires on. Snake came out earlier, wasn't able to set a clean lap and brought it into the pits. Now he's going for another shot at it now. William Blau has not yet made an attempt to get onto the racetrack to set a lap. Gusty on an out lap right now. Going to see if he can improve. Right now, he is still outside of the 103s. Here we are. William Blau is finally coming onto the circuit. And Gusty began a flying lap now. Interestingly enough, that's Gusty's teammate, Plastic Love, who's right behind them. So if Plastic Love can keep up, he'll get. It will be hard to keep up, but if he can keep up, he might get a little bit of a DRS help on his flyer lap.
Fiend has gone into the pits just to set, reset fuel, and probably get another, maybe get another set of tires. I don't know, maybe.
Plastic Love, and the car up there on the screen is XRL Gusty. He is in the middle of a lap right now trying to break the 104 barrier and get onto the front row. Plastic Love wants to stay close enough to his teammate so he can get a DRS draft off of him going down the stretch. Oh, Love gets 2 tires into the dirt. Gusty breaks the 104 barrier but is still third. William Blau has also begun his flying lap. Love is not close enough to get a draft off of Gusty right now, though. So it looks like this Red Bull is all on his own for the moment. Boothie is also on track still. Boothie is extremely close to breaking the 104 barrier himself as well. William Blau coming to the start-finish line very shortly, as will Plastic Love. Blau sets a time of 104.420. That's good enough for 8th. Here comes Plastic Love. He has not improved. He is actually down on time by roughly 12 hundredths. Fiend is the only driver left who has not yet set a lap time. He is on an out lap right now. Gusty has gotten up to a 103.501, but the fuel is flashing and the ERS is low. There's 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. I don't know if Gusty is going to be able to get another shot at the pole.
Fiend is on an out lap again on another set of softs. Let's see what can happen. Can this lap count? Probably, he might have 2 laps probably are available for him to get a good chance of a good grid position for the race.
Wild Nissan currently 5th on the grid, desperately hoping that no one else is able to go faster. Blau just went faster, moved the Mercedes up to 5th position now. 34.122 for Fiend at the end of Sector 2. Chubby is on an out lap, interestingly enough, but I don't really see the point because right now he's in a position I don't think anyone can actually beat him. The only drivers who seem to be close would be Gusty and X. And Gusty retires in pit lane.
Fiend
He knows
crossed
he
the
can't go
line.
faster.
1:03.783.
Yeah, 103.783. So everyone has now set time. Boothie has had a wreck coming out of turn 1. The part of the front wing is damaged, and he will not get a chance to go faster. Chubby on a flyer lap, going to see if he can beat his prior best time.
Nah, he's done.
Time's up. Over. Plow. Is X at the spot going to catch him? He is not. X is 8 seconds down. This is a cooldown lap for him. The only driver that might have a chance to get Chubby would be XRL Fiend. Oh gosh, Fiend went extremely wide coming through his last 2 corners there. It's going to be close. Does he improve? He does not. He is slower. That's it. I think we can say without a doubt that Chubby is going to take home pole position. Yes, indeed, because Boothby had an accident on his lap, so that's it. Chubby will take on the pole. He's faster. Chubby was faster in Sector 2, loses a bit in Sector 3, but both of his laps were within 4 thousandths of each other at the end. Incredible job by the Ferrari driver.
Indeed, and good way to bounce back after missing. I think we missed France, and I think yes. After missing France, Chubby comes back into the Ferrari seat and gets pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix.
Alright, so the session is over, and the Ferrari starts on the pole position with Chubby IX Spark, with XRL Gusty 2nd, Exits to spot 3rd, XRL Fiend 4th, Boothie in 5th, William Blau in 6th, Wild Nissan GTR in 7th, Plastic Love in 8th, Constant Jet 9th, and XRL Snake in 10th.
Now we will be racing, and we'll be racing at 1 minute past 6.
Alright, so roughly a 4.5 minute wait until we get into the race itself then. So just standing by right now till we get to the race itself.
Uh,
All right. So looking at it right now, am I missing something? Why am I only seeing one driver who is apparently starting in the top 10 on sauce? When there's supposed to be two?
um.
Oh, it looks. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, Schumacher in the Ferrari is electing to start on the hard tire compound, as is TIR Flavor in the AlphaTauri. Fratters, who is starting dead last, is apparently going to be starting on these soft tire compounds. As we should be getting underway in about a minute or so.
Except we're going now then. For the race.
Alright, I'm just going to ask the same thing. Would you be willing to take focus on the rear of the field as we come to the green?
Yep. Even though there probably won't be a rear of the field at the end, but we'll see.
4 lights, 5 lights, as lights out, away we go at Austria, and down the line, WIX Mark is trying to crunch in, and Gussie on the inside, Gussie is not going to have any of it, he runs him wide, and Gussie is going to go all the way down the grid, down the 4th, down the 5th, might even fall to 6th, and Pau gets a good run, they're still side by side, as Fiend is now alongside the Ferrari at the front, as they go side by side to turn 2, the Ferrari cuts off the Alpine ends up blocking both the Aston Martin of Boothie and exits the spot. Now Boothie is the one falling to the field. They're going to be 3 wide nearly as they're trying to rush by Boothie as he's fallen all the way back to the 8th position. They're side by side all the way around him, and he's got to fall all the way back. Plastic Glove ends up in the dirt. He's going to end up falling back to the 8th position now. He's going to lose a spot to Constant Jet in the process. William Blau has come by Wild Nissan farther up as Collie Boy's already earned a time penalty at this point in the event. Plastic Glove is still side by side. He gets around. He spins on the racetrack and goes completely off the circuit. Falls all the way back to the back of the field now. Excuse me. And at the front, it is WIX Sport with XRL Feed and exits the spot chasing him now.
There's an accident at the back at the start between TR Flavor and Shold. Flavor has got no wing and is trundling along at the back of the field. He'll be on the hard compound tires as well, so he was aiming to do a long stint on those tires, I'm afraid. So, but it's just a really random. It was a weird incident. But into pits goes Flavor, and I think Fratters is either problem at turn 1. He's now fallen behind Plastic Love. It'll be the mediums going on with AlphaTauri.
Sad thing for Flavor is that this means this incident, coupled with the normal pace issue he has, will likely trap him a lap down in the first 5 laps of this race.
There's a battle going on in the 13th between Schumacher and ITZ. Good at the moment.
A little bit farther up, Stone Shuffle, Constant Jet, and Dave are all having a spat for the 8th, 9th, and 10th position. Constant Jet looks to the inside of Dave on the run down to turn 1, but he'll have to back out of it. That leaves him open to a potential attack from Stone Shuffle. But Constant Jet has a run on Dave Ewart right now, and is going to use the DRS to go around him on the outside. DRS will go back in Dave Ewart's favor on the 3rd straightaway, and now XRL Pingu is going on the inside of Stone Shuffle. Oh, Snake just blows by them both. Or does he? No, Pingu is apparently lagging all over the place. But Snake gets by Stone, Shuffle, and Schumacher. Pingu goes up to 10th. Snake is now in 11th. And at the front, there's a fight for the lead as well. Fiend has caught Chubby. Fiend with a time penalty as he's struggling to stay in the draft of Chubby.
Stone Shuffle is going into pit lane. So is, I think, a bunch of, so is Schold and Plastic Love. What's Mercedes going on in Mercedes? It's a wing change going down there. Red Bull are also making a wing change. So it's front wings across a lot of below, and Shold's actually got no weight handle on wings, so he's going to replace that, and we'll be falling up behind. Should be coming out, you'll come out ahead of us. Just.
Exits the spot, just fell from 3rd all the way to 6th. He's got one of those positions back against Wild Nissan at the end of that 3rd straightaway. And now Boothie is throwing himself into the battle, so from 3rd to 7th, it is a manic fight for positions.
Collie Boy, meanwhile, is on the back of ITZ, but Ocean Lions in the background, and the Williams just looking for an opportunity, which probably will come on the DRS straight, because we'll have, on the straights, because we'll
oh my goodness, a massive accident, Boothie! Wild Nissan both with a massive accident! Now the Haas is involved! It's right there at the end of the front straightaway! Pingu is involved, he's out of the event! A massive accident!
I was on board with Collie Boy. Safety goes with the point. Collie Boy had to really avoid that. And I think there was a bit of calamity. What's happened? Is anything up? Right, Bonus has got the wing.
So what happened is that Boothie went to the inside of Wild Nissan GTR. I'm sorry, the outside of Wild Nissan GTR, going down the front straightaway. Nissan moved over, pitched Boothie out, and the impact ended up sending both of them into the outside wall, and both of those cars bounced across the track. Pingu had nowhere to go, and he ended up getting taken out in it as well. And for TIR Flavor, this is great for him because he gets his chance to stay on the lead lap.
Oh. Real shame for both of them, both of them too, because Boothie looked quite good in this race, but it's a shame. So, but that's how it goes. But you gotta just bounce back after that. And quite a few drivers are heading into the pits, and so your sets of tires looks like it's a bunch of mediums getting fitted onto the cars.
This is a full course safety car, so this is going to be this will likely be a long yellow flag. It's going to take a while for the entire field to get properly joined up. Coming in the party with us right now is Boothie116. Boothie, go ahead, include your audio. A massive accident there. What happened? Boothie, can you hear us?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Boothie, make sure your audio is included. What happened in that massive accident there?
I had DRS on him down the main street. He moved to the right a bit, so I stuck to the racing line and moved left. And then the gap kinda closed off and I just collected him, so not much could do, really.
Boothie, you are having an absolutely amazing run out there. Even though you dropped a bunch of positions on the first lap, you were making them up. Do you think you could have had a chance for a possible podium with the way this race was going?
No. I think Chubby, Fiend, and just had that one covered. There was good points available anyway.
It was a tragedy to see that happen. One more question. This might be poking the bear, but it's worth asking, do you hold fault against Wild Nissan for that accident?
No, it's my fault.
Alright.
Yeah.
I will admit, we don't hear drivers taking responsibility for accidents like that very often, so we appreciate that. It is much appreciated.
Yeah, I thought he was moving further to the right than he did, and then the gap just kind of closed off. It's too small a gap to go for, so definitely my fault.
Alright, well, it's a shame to see you out. We'll be looking forward to you having a better run later.
Hopefully my teammate will get some points since he's in 7th at the minute. Right.
Well,
Cheers, lads.
Farewell, Boothie. Well, there's the word. Safety car will be coming in this lap. For Wild Nissan, he elected to throw on hard tire compounds, so he'll be on those for a large portion of this race. And Gusty has apparently just got a collision penalty for William Blau in the 3rd and 4th positions. I don't see any damage on their cars, but the game seems to think that happened. So, Chubby was not the greatest coming off the start-finish line, but he was able to hold on to position. Now it's going to be a rolling start, and he'll have Fiend, Blau, and Gusty all over him coming to the line. Green flag is out.
Way to go again.
Shelby's opened up a little bit of a gap on Fiend, and Fiend is pulling away from William Blau in 3rd. Davey is pressuring Gusty for the 4th and 5th spots.
Well, this I just went wide, like, opened the door for, I think he got past Scholl, but then opened the door back for him to get past. Both AlphaTauris and that are now at the rear of the field, and still at the rear of the field at the moment. Farah's got face to the time of the morning, so I just got onto him as soon as he cut the final corner a little bit. Penalty for
Scholl to the inside of Stone Shuffle, side by side for the 15th position, going to turn 1. And Scholl will take it over the Mercedes.
Snake. Gonna get the Williams of Ocean line. Down the inside he will go. Into turn 3, gets the move cleanly. And Franish is that, and it opens the door for Franish to go down the inside. So both McLarens making up places. Now they're at 11th and 12th. In the field at the moment. Oh, Shabbat goes back. He's found. He carried too much speed and allows Plastic Love to go by, so he's losing more and more positions. Scholl has now gone past him. He went from 11th down to 15th, and he could be under pressure. He lost the position to one Nissan and Stone Shuffle. He's clearly struggling in this field.
If this keeps up, he'll run the risk of being passed by TIR Flavor as well. The Constant Jet has just got by ITZ for the 9th and 10th positions. And now Snake gets by ITZ, so now that Aston Martin is struggling, Fratters will be the next driver to try and make a move on him. It's a DRS train, and everyone's chasing Constant Jet. Exits the spot, has just gotten by Collie Boy in turn 3. Now Collie Boy is going to try and go back for it.
Plastic Love making a little bit of contact with Fratters, but then ITZ is lost to, is happening again. He's lost positions to Plastic Love and Fratters and Snake, so he's fallen dead the order like Ocean Line did on the last lap. This time he doesn't make a mistake at turn 4 by going wide.
Positions, Gusty is closing in on William Blau for that final step on the podium.
pass it. I've got a time penalty. What's happened? Oh,
Schumacher out of the race!
He's hit it. Collie Boy's got Collie Boy hit him. Safety car
And that's
deployed.
another safety car. So I couldn't see what happened. It looked like, did Schumacher spin trying to come into the pits or something?
I don't know. So I wasn't on board with him either when it happened.
We're going to try and get Schumacher in here and see what happened from his perspective.
Yep.
I thought Schumacher crashed trying to come into the pit lane, but the next thing I know, Schumacher and Collie Boy were on the extreme outside of the racetrack, so that couldn't have been it. I wonder if Schumacher spun in the field, Collie Boy had nowhere to go, and ran into him, and the impact forced both of them off the circuit.
Probably, yeah, probably. But another safety. We're now under another safety car condition in this race.
The good news for Collie Boy is that this happened relatively early on the restart, so he was able to come in, get fresh hards equipped on that car, new front wings, and he will not go a lap down. Also for TIR Flavor, again, a little bit of luck, he will not go a lap down after losing touch with the field on the prior restarts as well. Ocean line will end. Whoa! Look at this! A shower of drivers rushing into the pit lane now. Well, this is going to upset the entire race order.
Yeah.
Well, this now means that it's X hits the spot, who is going to be the race leader, with Constant Jet in second, XRL Snake third, Fratters fourth, Plastic Glove fifth, and Schold in sixth. And mind you, those top six drivers, they have all made at least one stop already to repair damage to their cars, either from the first lap or from that big accident that brought out the first safety car. ITZ is now brought up into the 7th position, and he is the only driver on track who is on the same set of tires that he started this race on, while Nissan GTR has gone up into the 8th position. He's on hard tires like Plastic Glove, so those two might be able to go to the end, or almost to the end on those hards, before throwing on a set of softs for a sprint to the end. Stone Shuffle is now up at 9th, and Chubby goes from leading the race all the way down to 10th. He's going to have to deal with a lot of aerodynamic wake at this point. So as it stands right now, I imagine we're going to see us going green coming onto lap 14, as Collie Boy has not yet caught the back of the grid. I'll be interested to see if anyone else also decides to come into the pits. I don't think we'll see that, but if it happens, no, it doesn't look like anyone else is going to come into the pit lane. So there we are. Collie Boy has now caught the back of the field, so we should be going green this time. This has been a very chaotic start for this race.
Yeah, it has. Like, a lot of action. We've been going for like 13 laps. And I think pretty much like maybe a half, if not less, like I've been under like safety car conditions.
Should be going green this lap. Waiting for the official word. Didn't see it flash up yet, but the lights are off on the pace car.
No, we're not going yet. I don't think we are. It seems though, because like I'm looking at the mini map, it seems that the leader exits the spot is backing up. Oh wait, we are going. I just didn't see the message. We're going.
Yeah, I didn't see a message either, sadly.
So
we are green, and now exits the spot, gets the clean air that he has not had thus far. I'm Gonna be interested to watch Shelby. Can Shelby do anything back there in the 10th position? He's already looking to the inside of Stone Shuffle and immediately takes that position for 9th.
I think I'll do the same, really. TR Flavor is under pressure from William Blau, yellow flag, something's happened for
Constant Jet spins out of the second corner and he will plummet down the order. Here comes Nissan. He's looking to the inside of ITZ, but he can't make it stick. Shelby is right there, ready to pounce. Now on Wild Nissan. Every overtake you see right now will be 100% driver ability or capitalizing on someone else's mistake. DRS will not be enabled for a while. William Blau, TIR Flavor fighting for the 12th and 13th positions further back. And Nissan is going to lose out to Shelby and XRL Fiend. Now Shelby has gone from 10th to 7th in a single lap.
Your flag, concentrate. Oh, it's not concentrate. Yeah, concentrate's out. That's the right of the race. Safety car again.
Whatever it was, he was already a little bit a ways back in the grid, and now he's fallen completely out again. We'll try and get Constant Jet in here and see if maybe he'll share what's happened with him. For Shelby, though, a move from 10th to 7th in a single lap, and XRL Fiend from 11th to 8th as well. All right, coming into the party right now is Constant Jet. Constant, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello.
Go ahead and include your audio. What happened that took you out there?
I kind of don't want to talk about it this time. Where they're going past now, I kind of lost traction with a bit earlier. But earlier I saved it. This time I kind of hit the barrier like a stupid amount of speed. So, fun.
Alright, I do have to ask, did you get a view of that initial big accident in the opening laps between Pingu, Boothie, and Nissan?
Yes.
What happened there from your perspective?
Someone, I can't really remember who was in front of who, but one went across the other, then Pengu went past me and hit whoever was on the outside, so he DNF'd as well. I didn't really catch much of it, but I have recorded it and it will be going in as a view because it is, you can see what happens, so quite good.
How did you avoid that big accident though?
LT very hard.
Alright, good man with those lightning reflexes. It's a shame that you were able to avoid that, but couldn't avoid this one to take you out. Alright, thanks for being willing to talk with us, and we look forward to you having another good run in the next upcoming weeks.
Yeah, thanks guys. See you in a bit.
Right. Well, that's the word from Constant Jet, reflecting on both the accident that has taken him out and that big lap, what was it, lap 4, lap 5 accident that occurred. We are under our third full course safety car. We learned the hard way, Torpedo, back at Catalunya, a maximum of 5 full course safety cars in a race. That's the maximum that this game will give us. Also, something else of note, while we were talking with Constant Jet, a bunch of drivers elected to come in and throw on new tires, and now Shelby IX Spark has gone from 7th up to 3rd. The only 2 drivers ahead of him now are Exit the Spot and Plastic Glove. Both of them are on older tires, and in Plastic Glove's case, he's on older and harder tires as well. Also, interestingly enough, although we've had 4 DNFs thus far, all 16 drivers who are with us are still on the lead lap. So,
Yeah. And we're going
And
in
there's
this
the
lap.
word, safety car will be coming in this lap.
Well, now we got it this time.
Alright, coming to the green flag. I'm going to be riding on board the Ferrari of WIX Spark as he's going to try and overtake these two, I imagine, on the first lap. But as normal, Torpedo, feel free to cut me off and rudely interrupt me. Be as rude as necessary to interrupt me if something of note happens farther back.
Alright.
And we're coming to the green flag. Exits the spot. Classic Love, Chubby, all get a very good run off the start. It's a top three, slowly breaking away from the rest of the field. Love runs extremely wide in the first corner. Chubby holds the line and will easily overtake the Red Bull. Now there's only one car between Chubby and retaining the lead that he had re-obtaining the lead that he had earlier.
All contact between Dave, Ewart and some shuffle. But we're back, no real damage I think on the cars. And still take a shot to overtake. Dave just gets past Snake.
Oh, Nissan very nearly ran Ocean Line out into the dirt there. Dave making good work of those soft tires though. Oh, and then I say that he goes off into the dirt now. Against Plastic Love for the third position. Mercedes versus Red Bull with an Alpine behind, ready to capitalize. William Blau not very fast on the main straightaway. Fiend is going to walk by him. Now he looks to the inside of Plastic Love. They're going to be neck and neck as they go through turn one. They're still side by side. The Mercedes is faster than them both, looking for a way past. The Alpine is going to be faster than the Red Bull. He's going to sweep by. William Blau is trying to follow. There's three cars with a blanket thrown over them on the run down to turn three. Fiend gets it over Plastic Love. Blau is still trying to get by him, but there's just not enough track for him to get by.
Dave almost went and had a spin like Concentrated when he's trying to pass the Williams solution line. He will go back again on his back strip, except the third DRS straight available, not able to make the move. Obviously, DRS is not enabled just yet. I think it will be next lap. Yellow flag.
Oh no, Chubby! The crash right in front of the fleet field, and he will fall from second all the way to 10th. He was making a move on X hits the spot, and now he has gone off, and Ocean Line has spun as well, trying to avoid the Ferrari. For X hits the spot, this is perfect because he will be able to retain the lead, and Fiend might end up winning this race now.
Chubby's gone again. I'm not sure what happened with Ocean Line, to be honest. I don't know if he hit
Ocean
anything
Line
or
spun to
spun.
avoid the Ferrari.
I wasn't on board with them. I was on board with Chubby, that's why I couldn't see.
Classic Love and William Blau are still fighting for the third position. The Mercedes sails in front of the Red Bull. The Red Bull knocks him back. Coming out of turn 3, he's going to have no DRS though against the Mercedes going down the straight, but he's still fast enough to come to the outside. You're going to be neck and neck under braking. Will the Mercedes be able to hold it? Yes, he holds it.
The Ferrari is going to be coming into the pits, so that means I think that'll mean Chubby can go a lap down. No. Chubby's not making a front wheel change. He'll go onto the hard compounded tyres, and then Plastic Love gets a 3-second time penalty. But now Chubby really needs something big to happen if he wants to get back into the race.
Safety car.
More likely. Ocean Line's been caught with injuries. He's just not really having pace. He has pace, but he's not able to show it yet.
Dave Ewart has snuck by Fratters on the main straightaway with the assistance of DRS. Fratters, though, has DRS back on the second straight and is looking to make a potential move back against him going into turn 3. And he's got him on the inside. But the Alpha doesn't have DRS. McLaren has DRS again. So I think Fratters, even though he's on a much harder set of tires, will be able to hold on to 9th. Oh, but Dave is right there, ready to capitalize back on it. Oh, Coley Boy's gone off.
Oh.
And he'll fall all the way back to the 14th position in the process. That will promote Fratters up to 8th and Dave Ewart up into 9th.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it might have spun on his own accord, to be honest. And no one's really going into the pit lane. Oh, now Ocean Line's just got past me to this.
XRL Fiend has a run on. X hits the spot. He goes to the outside, cleanly overtakes the Williams. So Alpine over Williams. Thing is, now the Williams will have DRS on this final straightaway to try and make another move. Not able to make it happen. Fiend has opened up the gap. It looks like Fiend is going to potentially walk off with this win here. Gusty has fallen a bit off of William Blau.
Gone. Out of the pit lane. Pit lane entrance.
Seems like he overtaxed those tires in that spin, and now this means that Shelby will get by Collie Boy, and Collie might go a lap down as well. In fact, it seems almost guaranteed that he's going to go a lap down as they replace the tires.
Softs go on.
Classic Love coming into the pits now. He's taking off those hards that he's been on for the last 17 laps.
Surely it's got to be the softs coming on for the Red Bull. No, it's mediums.
We're still 13 laps out. I think if we were 10 or 11 laps out, I'd consider throwing on softs.
Yeah, sort of. Classic Love will come out in 14th behind the Williams of Ocean Line. But the Red Bull's on fresher tyres, so he should catch him up relatively soon. Meanwhile, TR Flavor is sticking behind Schuld on the softs. Like, lacking that overall pace, but he's keeping up. Still within a second in 12th right now, so doing good.
Exits the spot, has pitted out of the second position. This will drop him well down the order. ITZ and Wild Nissan, two drivers who had incidents earlier, have worked their way up into the 4th and 5th spot. And ITZ has DRS on Nissan. He wants to try and make a move on that AlphaTauri. A little bit farther back, the two McLarens of Fratter and Snake are within striking distance of each other, but neither of them are really close enough to factor into any other battles at this moment. Also of note, Plastic Love will get by Ocean Line exactly as you said, Torpedo.
Yeah. Only a matter of time before that was going to happen with the fresh tyres that Plastic Love has.
So now Plastic Love will set his sights on TIR Flavor Night, and ITZ has just gone out!
And sick mode, and we're going to be bunched up again.
And this is perfect for Chubby, because he was on the risk of going a lap down. Now, he can go ahead, come into the pits, throw on a set of soft tires, potentially, and try to rush his way up to the grid. Fiend is pitting, Dave Ewart is pitting, Stone Shuffle is pitting.
Flavor pitting.
TR Flavor is pitting.
Ocean Line as well will be pitting. I think it's a good opportunity for those drivers that have like older set of tires on just to chuck a set of softs and go to the end.
This means that William Blau has now inherited the race lead with the Red Bull of XRL Gusty behind him. Then it will be Wild Nissan, Fratters, Snake, and Schuld, and all those drivers will be on medium or hard tires that already have wear on them. This will end up being a very chaotic race restart for sure. And there we are, Shelby is coming into the pits. They will be equipping soft tires on that machine.
Yep, it's just now a sprint. It will be a sprint for him. I think yeah, it's different stuff. Also the lead.
Leaders are coming in. Blau is coming in. Gusty is coming in.
Collie
Nissan
Boy's
is coming
staying
in.
out. This is an opportunity to get himself
Snake
on lap.
is Snake is staying out, and Fratters is staying out. Scholl is going to stay out as well. So 2 McLarens and a Haas will inherit this race lead. And yes, you were right. Collie Boy now gets back on the lead lap. Although he has a drive-through penalty for speed under the safety car. But he'll still be on the lead lap at least.
Yeah. I just probably think he's not really that sober. At least a little bit sober. Hopefully.
Well, he seems to be driving a lot more sober now than he was yesterday, to say the least, so... So now, XRL Fiend gets back up into the 4th position on fresh sauce, and he just has 3 cars who have hard tire compounds ahead of him to overtake. This race has basically fallen in Fiend's lap after him and Shelby have been the class of the race, but Shelby had a spin trying to get by exits the spot earlier.
Yeah, Snake, Frowder, Scholl are pretty much in danger as soon as the race restarts. Gusty and Plastic Love, they're both on mediums. We'll see how they go compared to the rest of the rest of the grid that are on softs. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens, to be honest. And at the restart, it'll be most likely be lap 27, or towards the end of lap 27 we'll be going, so that will be roughly lap 28 we'll get going, so that's like
we have had 4
9
full
laps
course
of
safety
racing.
cars, and there is definitely enough time left that if things went crazy enough, we could see a 5th one. But unlike Catalunya, which is a complete crap show with all their full course safety cars, here we've actually been getting some decent racing in between them.
Yeah, good. So there's been some good racing. The midfield has just really been like up and down. You've not really had a single person that's on that can stay in that position for a while due to these safety cars. Well, the positions changes. Just have a look. Snakes went up 9. Riders went up 18. Shoulders up 16. So, but it's between Fires and Scholl probably for the driver of the day. For that.
That's assuming they don't crash out or spin out and go right to the back on the restart.
Yeah. We'll see. There it goes. Yeah, it should be this lap because at the end of this lap, because Collie is literally just caught up to the train now.
Also, looking at penalties right now, Collie Boy has a drive-through, but everyone else has no more than 12 seconds worth of time penalties. So this could get very interesting as well, because some drivers have penalties, some do not. And if the field is relatively close, penalty countback might end up being the deciding factor on who does or doesn't pick up positions. I'm going to be riding on board with XRL Fiend as they come to the green flag, but like last time, feel free to interrupt me if anything of note happens farther back in the field.
I'll just watch Chubby and watch him actually fly through the field.
And we're off!
Collie Boy's immediately going to take that drive through. Let's just see if it does. And he got 5 second turbo with the speeding on the pit line. Why?
Here comes Fiend to the inside of Scholl, neck and neck for 3rd position.
At turn 1. Chubby IX Sparko is going to make a move on Ocean Line up at P12.
Oh no! Scholl gets rear end from behind as a stack up! And now Classic Love spins around in the incident. Lau is falling to the order now. He has damage to his car. Fiend gets up to 3rd now. Fiend spins! Fiend, the fastest driver on track, just spun out of the 3rd position.
Schumacher almost missed him. He's on the back of TR Flame. Round the outside he goes and will make the move onto P9. That was a scare for
The 2 McLarens now have a turn, are now fighting off. X hits the spot.
Schumacher, Chubby's making his way up the field. He's slicing through those cars. He just got past
X to the
Scholl.
inside of the McLaren. Neck and neck for position. And X is going to get him.
Now, things gone off again. Easy for you. You don't want to do what Ponce injected. Easy. Now,
Wild Diesel has recovered to 4th position and might even get 3rd off the McLaren of Fratters.
job.
Ooh, Nissan gets run wide because he had a huge run. Now the Williams and the Alpha got ran off. The McLaren goes back into the second position.
Fielders retired in the pits and got penalised for that after the race.
Goodness, this has gotten crazy. Here comes Gusty. Gusty is trying to make a move now. On X hits the spot for the third position. Oh, this McLaren spins right through the field, and the Williams hits him. Chubby is out, and the field has gone completely mental again.
Chubby went into the back. I think it was the Mercedes or somewhat. I think it was, and that kablow. His race has ended. DRS has been enabled for some reason now, so no safety car will come out. Again, William blows into the pits, so you've got a 5-second tap over speeding in the pit lane. And the front wing will come off and new set of soft tyres come on. This race has just got even crazier.
As it stands right now, XRL Snake might just win this race because Gusty is behind them on mediums that are faster, but Gusty has time penalties. Nissan is the highest up the grid of people who don't have time penalties and do not have to worry about more tires, but Nissan is a good 4.5 seconds off of Snake right now.
AlphaTauri in a good position right now, 3rd and 5th. But now, it's fallen into their hands after being at the back for like a while ago. I think it was like a while ago. When I think it was the first safety car we had with Pengu and Boofy. But it's a bad day for both Ferrari, Alpine, and Aston Martin. So 3 teams have had a bad race this week. In X3. So they need to bounce back quickly. They need to get those points. And especially not good for the constructors, the Aston Martin, with Mr. Anderson being the leading driver, getting the most points, moving up to X2. Now, since that's happened, they've just plummeted down into bad form. Meanwhile, Ocean Lines just got past Team TR Flavor.
Alright, coming into the party right now is Shelby IX Spark. And Shelby, you've already said it, what happened? What we saw is that the second place McLaren on old tires spun in front of the field and then exits the spot, ended up T-boning him right in the side, but I'm not sure what happened to you, because next thing I saw when you came in the frame, your front suspension and wing were already very badly damaged.
Yeah, there was a stack up, I think, in front of me. I was like P7, I think, at the time, P6. But I think somebody already was out in front of me and they were just stopped on track. I was just confused because I saw Fiend got turned around. I saw everybody getting turned around. So I don't know what's happening. I mean, I was happy when there's a safety car. So I'm like 50 seconds back and about to get lapped. So I was happy. But then that happens. So it was just a bad race.
Well, Shelby, you were fighting for first earlier in the event and then spun out on your own. What happened that time?
I think it was just a combination of dirty air, using curbs in this game, and just just old tires. Like my tires were at like 34%, and when I did some race simulations, it was just terrible. Like they would just slide all the time. So.
Alright, well, it's an absolute shame as neither Ferrari is going to earn points outside of what you got for the pole position, but you did throw up a very great show until the very end where you got taken out there.
So is Snake gonna win though?
Right now it looks like Snake is gonna win because although Gusty is faster, Gusty has time penalties, so yes, it looks like Snake's gonna win.
But can Gusty get 5 seconds removed though? What happened with that?
I don't know if he will or not.
Okay, well that would be a great win for Snake, because I know he's a good driver.
A veteran of XRL is Snake, and this would be a win that's been long waiting, but Gusty is trying to make a fight back, and also Fratters is trying to fight back against Dave Ewart right now.
See, I'm gonna go
positions as well.
I'm gonna go watch some Eagles versus Falcons, so see ya.
Alright, have a good day, and sorry for your DNF.
Alright. There's a big old Alfa Romeo versus McLaren. Fratters has lost out to both of them.
Those hard tires do not have anything compared to the softs, it would appear.
Yep. Indeed. Juan Mason's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. That's not looking good for him if he wants to get this podium. Because he's currently, I think, within it's 1 second, I think, to Stone Shuffle. And Stone Shuffle is clean of penalties.
1 1/4, yeah. So yeah, Stone Shuffle might be able to back into a podium, and as it stands right now, depending on how penalties come out in TIR flavor, might back into a 5th or 6th finishing position. Snake loses the spot to Gusty. When it comes to penalties, though, Gusty has 3 seconds worth. Snake does not have any. So if they can keep that up, Snake could still win this.
Yeah, indeed. And anything can happen in X3. Davey Watt, Fires has just got past Davey Watt. I think Dave just went wide.
Oh, Collie Boy very nearly goes into the dirt. He did get into the dirt, and now Fighters has a run back on him. The fight for 8th, 9th, and 10th at the back of the points is really kicking off right now. Oh, Fratters is off!
Dave.
He gets back onto the circuit, but Dave's gonna get by now.
Some solid points are coming. Alfa Romeo's way now from this race. Fires' 17 lap old, or 18 lap old cars are starting to go off. William Blau's into the pits. Softs, I think that's a change. Dave's gone wide.
Both of them went way off.
Dave went very wide though. William Blau is retired.
Blau's out! Blau's is retiring in the pit lane. So now there are only 12 drivers left in the race. If something was to happen to Dave or Fratters here, Schold might end up picking up points.
Yeah, and his car will be likely coming out onto the track. So yeah, but William Blau will get penalised for that, as is Fiend, as they both retired in the pits. Shame for William Blau though, because he was looking really good for a good race result. In fact, this is the only good battle that we're seeing right now between Davey Watt and Friday, I suppose. So we're watching this.
Fratters trying to make moves on portions of the track that you don't normally think of overtakes happening. Oh, Fratters gets washed way up there in the final corner. I think that brings that battle to an end.
Yeah.
Well, no, Fratters is coming back. He's got the DRS. He is coming back. But those tires are so worn out at this point. He's going for a dive bomb anyway. Can't make it stick. But he has closed a bit on Dave. So
He lost momentum. He lost momentum. I think he lost momentum on the exit. Because it looked right. Fratters looked quite slow getting out of that corner. So.
Well, looking to the front, Gusty has the lead, but he's not going to win because he has penalties. Snake does not. So at the line, Snake will win the race. Gusty will finish second, Wild Nissan third. Stone Shuffle gets third over Wild Nissan. Ocean Lion is going to come home fifth. TIR Flavor is going to come home sixth after nearly going a lap down in the first few laps. Plastic Love is going to cross the line seventh. Collie Boy is going to come across the line in eighth position. Dave Ewart coming down to take home 9th, and Fratters will take 10th with Schold.
Schold goes up to 7th. He leapfrogged them.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
That the most penalties, I think. Driver of the day, I do not know who's going to get it.
I think you could honestly say your race winner was driver of the day, honestly. Just being able to avoid the pure chaos that was this race.
I think everyone that finished driver of the day for avoiding everything. Actually, I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a Flavor. Second McLaren didn't do so good. Actually, I'll give Flavor driver of the day in my opinion. He did well. He almost went a lap down earlier on in the race, but he never gave up. He continued going, and that was it, basically.
You make a good point. I can agree with that. There are a lot of options for driver of the day that I think would be very valid, and there's probably stories that happened that we missed as well.
Yeah.
Well, there is your final race results. Schold, will only having one penalty, jumped all the way up into 7th, and that means that Fratters and then McLaren will not earn points, and neither will Dave Ewart, so Alfa Romeo only ends up gaining 1 point at the end of it. Red Bull gets both of their drivers in points-paying positions, as does AlphaTauri, so that will help them significantly in points battle.
Yeah.
But we want to try and get Snake in here. Hopefully he'd be willing to join the party and share what he has to say about that fantastic victory. Even though he got passed on penalty countback, he had that victory won. It's been a long time coming. Snake has been a veteran of X3 for a while. Used to run the Mercedes, now he's in a Mercedes-powered McLaren. Doesn't seem like he's able or willing, one of the two, to join the party right now. So we might not end up being able to get an interview with him. But I think it goes without saying that race was nuts, to say the least. Well, anyways, I'm going to go ahead, unless there's something else that you think that is worth saying here, I'm going to go ahead and start closing out the broadcast. An absolutely nutty event all the way through. Oh, one other thing I do want to go ahead and say real quickly is that I do want to go ahead and look over the points as they were coming into this race, assuming this was properly updated. Yes, it was properly updated after France. So this was the point standings coming into this race. So when it came to the Drivers' Championship, Shelby IX Spark was leading with 52 points, with Gusty second with 50, Fiend the third with 49, Schumacher fourth with 46, Schold fifth with 33. Collie Boy was sixth with 30, Stone Shuffle was seventh with 28, Boothie was eighth with 24, ninth was Pingu with 12, 10th was Dave Ewart with 10th, Fratters and Ocean Line were tied with 7 each. Then Books, TIR Flamer, and Wild Nissan were tied with 6 each. XRL Snake had 4 points, and then ITZ, Plastic Glove, Constant Jet, and XRL Breezy all were at 0 points. But again, that was before we came into the race today. We came to the Constructors' Championship. Aston Martin had 126. Scuderia Ferrari had 99. Red Bull had 50. Haas had 49, tied with Alpine. Mercedes had 46, McLaren and Alfa Romeo had 40 each, Scuderia AlphaTauri Honda had 11, and Williams had 4. So anyways, that will be the end of our broadcast here for an absolutely nutty race. Just going through those results, points battles really going to be shaken up today with Fiend and Shelby Spark both DNFing in this race despite being some of the fastest drivers all day long today.
Yeah, but it just shows it is X3, anything happens, like, you just gotta be willing to bounce back after a poor race, and that's it, really.
Well, anyways, I've been your host, InsaneLear13. I've been joined by XR Torpedo. Torpedo, as always, been a pleasure to be able to share the broadcasting booth with you. We'll be looking forward to seeing you guys next week, but in about an hour's time on the main channel, you can catch the last Austria XRL race of this weekend for the X2 League. Be looking forward to that, because that promises to be an interesting race as well. Till then, though, farewell.